Okay, we are filming. Yes, ma'am, we are filming, Ziggy Dog. Because it's Sunday, I think about the 25th of September. And it's been raining for 2 or 3 days. We have had 3.5 inches of rain or better in the last 4 days. I had a Denny Moore stew can sitting on my metal auto ramp rack that's 3 inches deep, maybe 3 1/4, and it is totally and completely full. And you know, we got about another day's rain after that, so we could have even had 4 inches of rain, and that's just incredible. So anyway, we're out here Sunday afternoon, 5:30, something like that. And I've just opened the gate from the backyard into the field, and me and Ziggy and Pearl are going to go on a walk. We're going to walk about 30 minutes or more. So anyway, Zig, are you ready to go walking? You want to go walking with Papa Dog? Okay. Let's go. Come on, let's get up. Let's go walking. Come on, let's go walking. All right, here we go. We're setting off. This is the field out back. And I mow this pretty regular, whenever needed. You can see I've got a walking strip mowed down through there. That way, if it's real wet, I can walk down there in my tennis shoes and not get totally soaking wet. But yeah, it needs to be mowed again. No big deal. Have a tractor and I can do it. All right, let's go walking, girlfriends. You wanna leave your ball, Zig? You can leave the ball, Zig. Whoa. Okay. All right. Now we're heading down the trail here. Pearl always likes to walk in front. She's our lead girl. Not only walks in front, but a lot of times she'll skirt and flank the trail off to my side. Hey, Pearl. I'm a Pearl dog. She'll flank the trail 30, 50 feet off to the side in the woods and the trees a lot of the time. We'll take this little cut. It can go this way, it can go that way, over there to the Blackberry Patch, out towards the street up behind State Farm Insurance. Go off that way and fork 2 or 3 different ways. I've cut trails all through here. That way it's always, we can always take a different route or path and it doesn't get boring. This is a fairly new, not new, but I've recut it. I used this one years ago and it grew up, and just this summer, midsummer to late summer, I've opened this one back up. I kind of went through here, maybe clipped a limb or 2, not many, and then took my riding snapper, just an old snapper Comet, 30-inch cut, fairly small and maneuverable, and then I went in through here with that and kind of initially blazed the trail, and then came back in and with a pruning saw, my shears, hand pruners, whatever needed, and opened it up wider. And then I've actually gone through there with my 36-inch walk behind, of course pulling a sulky, and then now it's wide enough that I can drive my little tractor down through there, which I've used the tractor here. The tractor is about 4 feet wide. It's a 1977 Cub Lowboy 185 model, which is 185 for 18.5 horsepower, and one of the last ones they made. International ceased to exist in 77 or shortly thereafter, so that may have been the last one made, last model made. And yes, it's sad about International. They made some seriously good trucks. The old Scouts, Scout 2s, Travelols, the International pickup trucks, which I've still got a 73 pickup. I've had 2 different Scouts. I've had a Scout 2. There's Ziggy Girl. I shouldn't embarrass her if I knew this. I was going to film her taking a little doo-doo. There's a little Ziggy dog doing the thing off the trail. She usually backs up in the bushes. Good little girl. Doesn't mess my trails up. Bless her heart. Pearl does the same. They rarely ever take a little dookie in the trail. They always get off the side, and that's good. But if they do, I'll take a little stick and flip it off into the bushes or something like that. No big deal. And anyway, this is going down to the creek. We've got several little paths or directions. Now we can cross the street straight up here, but there's rocks, it's steeper. So I've opened this up a month or 2 ago so that we can walk this path down through here. The bank is not as steep on one side. I've just opened this up not even a month and a half ago, maybe even a month ago. And then we can actually also come in from this direction up through there. And there's another way. We walked over that way yesterday, but anyway, today we're going to go this way, and then we can walk down in here, cross the creek, and go up there where Pearl is. Pearl's waiting on me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cross the creek. Pretty shallow here. That's just a foot wide. That's 12 inches wide. That way Ziggy can cross it and not get wet. Her fur is so thick. Of course, deer cross it too. There's fresh deer tracks. And but we're not here to look for deer tracks today. Let's get up, Zig. We're going to go up the bank and go on a good walk. We're going to take the long route, or one of the long routes, and go on a good walk. I mean, we can walk way back in here, but I've maintained this trail. I've just taken my machete and cleared this out, then crossed the creek there where Pearl just walked. I've actually come in from the backside, and I've brought my 36-inch commercial walk behind down this far from up that direction. There's some pretty little blue flowers. Not sure what that is, but I'm going to zoom in. Just something else you'll see out here while you're in the while you're walking. Yeah, they're pretty. Not much out here that's not nice looking for me. Ziggy loves water, but she's not thirsty right now. We're going to walk on. Walking up the little incline. Pearl's good enough to, it's okay, Zig, you can come on. Pearl's usually good enough to wait on us. Sometimes, oops, I just ran through a spider web. I usually carry a stick and hold it out in front of me, because I've never liked walking into spider webs and getting spider web all over my face. But you just have to get used to it, because if you walk in the woods in Georgia or about anywhere, you're going to run into spider webs. Can't be helped. Under my feet is actually, whoops, there's a spider web. I just stopped in time. I don't know whether you can see that. You can see him there. Yep, I almost ran into that spider web there. Again. But anyway, under my feet is buried AT&T fiber optic lines. I'm going to pause here for a second, because we can go straight, or we can go to the left, or we can go to the right. And then just 75 feet up that way, it takes another 90 and goes back there. So these trails parallel each other. The one I'm looking at now, there's another one that parallels it about another 100 feet off to about 200 feet to the right that parallels this one. So we can walk up here a half a mile, then kind of do a loop and come back the other side. So it makes a good 1.5 mile walk for me and Ziggy and Pearl every day. Here's another spider web. I saw that one, so I broke it down. Oops, there's another one. I have to keep ducking. And they're everywhere. And I hate walking in spider webs. But these are good trails. Walk them almost every day. Years past, there were a few people that had four-wheelers out here that would ride these trails. And one fella rode his motorcycle riding around. He lived straight ahead about 1 mile, and he would bring his bike out here. Really good guy. And ride, but I think he may have moved out closer towards Greensboro, Georgia, where there's a, forget the name of it, but there's a motorcycle place out there where everybody can ride trails, jumps, courses, tracks, motorcycles, four-wheelers. Fantastic place. And he used to always go there on the weekends, and I have a sneaky feeling, since I'm not seeing him here anymore, that he probably just moved down there, so that the track probably was kind of like in his backyard or back door, whatever, close to his house anyway. And the girls love the smells, the sights, just getting out of the house. Although they've got a dog door, and they've got a, Pearl, get up! Pearl, get up! She'll find any poop, coon, raccoon, possum, whatever, deer. She will roll in any kind of dirt and poop. That's about her only flaw. I should have nicknamed her Stinky or something, but that's coyote, wolf, fox. A canine predator lays in it to mask their scent and smell like whatever they can hunt, so that they can slip up and get closer and capture that game again. That's why they do that. And Pearl, before she came to our house, was running loose, abandoned, lost, turned loose, we don't know. But Pearl had to live on her own. So some of her natural skills came back to her in order for her to survive and eat. So yeah, maybe I mean, a lot of dogs do that, but Ziggy doesn't. But you know, that could be why Pearl does that. It's because she relied on her abilities to hunt. It could have been for months. We don't know. She was so skittish and so wild that December the 7th, Pearl Harbor Day of 2013, the rescue facility had tried and tried, and December the 7th, they finally got a veterinarian to come with them with a dart tranquilizing gun, and was able to get close enough to Pearl to dart her and sedate her enough where they could catch her. And then they took her to the vet, checked her all out on December the 7th, and then the next day she was at my house. Then, just as a foster. But I saw right off Pearl was a smart dog, and after about it really didn't take me long at all. I just says, well, you know what the heck. It was just me and Ziggy then, and now we can actually go straight ahead. This fiber optic line actually runs all the way to Macon, Georgia. But I'm not going to walk that far today. That's 70 miles. But we're going to bear to the right here and go on this leg of the loop. And another 50 yards up here, it will take another 90-degree dog leg to the right again, and then actually head back and parallels the trail that we just walked up here on. And the time we get back to the house, it'll be 1.5 miles. It'll be 30 minutes approximately. And Pearl's out there. She always likes to go out there and tinkle and leave her little smells. And then Ziggy's usually always right beside me or behind me. Come on, Zig. Ziggy's been with me just about 13 years now, maybe a few months more, approximately. Now we're going to open back up in a clearing here, and I've actually came all the way out this way and mowed these trails, and we can go that way. And some yo-yo's just throwing his Coke can right there, and that's a shame. I don't litter. I picked up a lot of stuff. This used to be soybeans all out in here. The dairy used to raise, not soybeans, but millet. They had Holstein cows, and they raised their own millet feed for the Holsteins, the big black and white milk cows. But then the county bought the property to build a school on. So about 1 mile ahead of me there's a school and a middle school and elementary school. But you can see the fence right down there. I'll zoom in. That's the corner, the back corner. Back western corner of their athletic field. So now we could walk straight down there and parallel the fence, but we're going to take a right here and parallel back down along the trail and head back towards the house. There's Ziggy and Pearl way back over there. They had some little animal smell that they wanted to investigate. Pearl's got a little blackberry vine hanging on her. Come here, Pearl. Come here, Pearl. Pearl. Come here, Pearl. Whoa. Pearl, whoa. Pearl. Come here. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. You need some help? Okay. Alright. Have to help the girls out. Come on, Zig. You want to go this way? Come on. Pearl's slim and long-legged, and boy, she loves to move. She trots and runs. The majority of our walks out here, it's walks for me and Ziggy, but it's a little jog for Pearl. These are plum trees right there in front of us. Those are wild plums, and I have dug up 2 and brought them to my yard. I've got plums in my yard now. They turn golden yellow, yellowish gold, something like that. And those are actually fantastic plums. But if you don't put something on them, the bugs and worms will get at them, and they rarely ever mature because the caterpillars from some little wasp really love those plums. But maybe I can spray something on mine in my yard with like sulfur, something organic, natural. There's a bird nest right in there, abandoned from years past, which is excellent fire making tinder. If you're ever out and you need to start an emergency fire, an old bird nest works perfect. But here in the south, we've got pines everywhere. We have pines all over the place, so that's never an issue or a problem. All right, those are the plums, blackberries all along either side, and we're going to walk on. Been walking about 19 minutes so far, so we'll have a 35-minute walk, maybe 40. And we do this about every day. Good Lord willing. Now how that goes. I have mowed out in here. I can bring my little tractor, my either 3 mowers I've got back in here, ride mowers, and I can maintain this. But another fella back in the subdivision way back behind me, his wife walks out here with their babies. She'll push one of her children in a stroller and then walk with the little dogs, 2 or 3 of them. So Terry mows it a lot of times to him to keep it where it's cut down and clean for his wife to walk, which is good. So really, I've only had to bring my mower back here once. It grew up a month ago, and maybe Terry wasn't feeling well or whatever. He's had knee replacements and things, so I says, well, I'm going to bring my mower back here. So I did. Terry usually does this out here. It's easier for him to get out in here. I mean, I have made a path now where I can get a mower back in here, but for the long time, I mean, I could walk out here, but there wasn't enough room to get my mower back here. But I took out one fence post, pulled the fence back, and widened the trail where I can get a mower in. Pearl's going to take another load of duty right there, and that's good. Better out here than in the yard, and that's part of the reason. Exercise, walk, and give them a place where they don't have to doo-doo in their own yard, and they like that. Less I have to pick up. Coming, Zig. So anyway, we're continuing to walk on. Nothing real excited about this other than it's great to walk. Me and Ziggy and Pearl. But here comes the girls. Pearl's way back there. Here's Ziggy. Pearl's always coming at a run. You can see Pearl always runs. Well, there goes Pearl. Like somebody on the NASCAR track. Typical of Pearl. She'll investigate something and linger and smell, and then here she comes running usually and passes us by and then leads us on. That's Pearl. She loves to run. And here we're back at an intersection. We can go left or right. Left to the path along the fence by the athletic trail, or we can go right and then back left. And there's the athletic field up that way. But we're not going to go that way today. We're going to go behind us and then back down the trail where we came, which is right here, where we walked up from the direction of where we crossed the creek. So we're just going to go 35 feet more and take a 90-degree left and walk back down to the creek, cross it, then head right on up to the house. And then pick some greens from the garden, and then inside and take a shower. Come on, Zig. When it's real hot in the summer times, I definitely have to bring water for Ziggy and me, and of course Pearl too. But fall's here, September the 25th, 26th, so much more pleasant. Although it's humid, I'm sweating now. Not like summer. All right, back down to creek crossing 1 or 2 depending on direction. Come on, Zig. before we cross the creek. You can see how I've cleaned that out over there. I just cut through there with a machete or whatever it took. And this is about a 10-foot little bank. So I'll have to step careful not to slide down. And then we'll cross. And then head back up towards the house like we came. Okay, now we're back on my side of the creek and headed up the hill to the house, which is still a quarter mile or more away. I smell deer. There's a deer close. You can smell the musty smell from the glands on their hind feet. Definitely, if you're keen, you can definitely smell a deer in the woods. No doubt about it. Stop and catch Ziggy in the camera. There's my Ziggy dog. You're a good girl, Zig. Okay. Pearl's out of sight. Oh, there she is. I knew she would be somewhere within a reasonable distance. All I have to do is whistle or call and Pearl comes running. Pearl's real good about that. Not when I first got her. She really can't say she was hard-headed, but she definitely had a mind of her own and did as she pleased. So it was pretty long time that I had to walk her on a leash for her own security and safety, because there is a road 300 yards in front of us and people do run 65 miles an hour on it, and I just didn't want nothing to happen. Now we're back to the field. There's a wildlife food plot down there. There's a lot of dandelions, there's chicory, there's several things. Clover, 2 types of clover. There's a lot of really nutritious broadleaf things for the deer to eat, and they definitely eat down there every night, every evening and night and morning, without fail. I usually plant clover, but I didn't this year. There is clover down there that will naturally seize, so there'll still be clover, but not totally sown thick like I usually do. And we've been walking 28 minutes and 25 seconds. So it's a 30-minute walk today, which it'll definitely make you sweat, even now in the fall. So it's good for me. Keep my knees and legs limbering. If my back's hurting, usually I can walk, and once I finish and shower and settle down, my back's not hurting quite as bad. And we're headed back up to the gate. Pearl's going through. I can walk through or drive through. I'll put these in. There's my old disc. That was made in 1954 or 55. It was bought in 55 or 56 with my 1955 Farmall 200 tractor. That tractor was bought with about 12 or 14 pieces of equipment, which is down there under that tractor shed. And I've got that tractor and almost every piece of that equipment. There's a plow there. There's the bush hog that came with it. Behind that, those 2 implements, There's a subsoiler, and then right over here is another 2-blade disc plow with the 2-point international hitch system. That's a 2-blade plow, and this is a 4-blade disc plow. Those were bought new with my tractor. Right there. And there's my compost pile back in that corner. Anyway, let me shut the gate. And that's it for this walk. I'm going to shut this off, and then I'll make another little short film in my garden.